Ben, Sharon, good to see you guys back again. Ben, how are
Hello.
you?
Hi, thank you for having me today. Hey Andre
So
and hey Marvik, how are you?
I'm pretty good. It's a pleasure to have you on to this conversation. I think this is more like CEO mid CEO chat. So usually what we do, we allow people within to get engaged with us. We ask them to drop their their country where they're watching from in the comment section. So if you're in the audience session, please let us know where you're joining us from before we get started. We usually do that for maximum 59 seconds.
Yeah, so we can wait for people for about 1 or 2 minutes to join. Then we can start.
Absolutely. I think there are questions that came in, and people are really excited about this session. They want to know more about this partnership and also membership and Open Fabric AR. So it's going to be a more insightful conversation today.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Absolutely. So guys, in the comment section, where you're watching from LinkedIn, YouTube, or Twitter, just let us know where you're joining us from, and let's engage, let's connect. I will have Costa Rica in the house. Nice. Absolutely, Ahmed. Venezuela, good. Rwanda, got somebody from East Africa. In okay, like global community.
It's a country by itself.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we can start it so people will join in the
Yeah.
meantime. So yeah.
So let me take this time to officially welcome all of you, especially our guests from Lumichel, Ben Sharon, and Andre Tara, our very own CEO here at Open Fabric AR. So usually what we do, we welcome everyone to this session, and we talked about what the session is all about. And for this session is more about discussing about the partnership between Open Fabric AR and Lumichel and what does it mean for both ecosystem. We will take this time to allow our speakers to introduce themselves and give a little bit background of what they're doing, the amazing things that they're doing at their respective companies, starting with Ben Sharon.
Thank you for having me. I will introduce myself. My name is Ben Sharon. I am the CEO and co-founder of Lumishare. So we are in Lumishare. We are creating an innovative blockchain ecosystem around clean and green NFTs. And we created our asset-backed NFT Marketplace with focus on the renewable energy from one side, and we have our token, our unique token that backed by gold, cash, and technology. So that's about Lumishare in general, and we will deep dive into it right now after we will start. Thank you.
Absolutely, that's what we're here for. Let's go to you, Andrew.
So as you may know me, I'm the CEO of Open Fabric. So we are working to create a new type of ecosystem. In a nutshell, to push the limit of Web3 and uh, you know to make use of the blockchain technology in a new way to democratize access to AI application. So yeah, I guess you already know me very well. So let's continue.
Absolutely. It's clear that today's conversation is going to be very insightful. And for our people in the audience, we want to make this clear to you. Today's AMA session is divided into two segments. The first segment will be a pre-selected question that we have from our community. And we'll pose this question to our speakers. They'll be providing answers to them. The last segment, which is the second segment, will be taking questions from the audience. So please put in your question in the comment section, and our backstage team will bring that up to us. Answer to your questions. With that being said, we will drop straight into today's session with the first question. We have this was for our guest, Lumicia. Ben, this is for you. We have heard you talked about transparency and trust in your vision a lot. People have been, you've been mentioning so much about that. How are you planning to do that exactly? Please elaborate.
So first, Lumishare was established because we identified that there is a lack of transparency and lack of trust in the crypto markets and in the financial markets in general. So we are in Lumishare, we are aiming to solve it. By that, our main application, our asset-backed NFT marketplace, will combine between the NFTs, which we know that this is the future technology of most of the aspects of our life in the next future, with real-world assets. So first, the real-world assets, we will start with renewable energy, solar farms and wind farms, etc. So from one end, we don't believe so much in the monkeys and the JPEGs that represents NFTs. But as I mentioned, we believe and knows that it will take a huge part of most of the aspects of our life in the next future. And that's why we combine between the virtual and the real world. So about the transparency, we are using a data-driven methodology in our marketplace. So meaning that we will collect the data online, live, from the solar farms and the wind farms. So we will give the opportunity to our investors inside the marketplace to take a better decisions based on the data, meaning that they can see how much electricity produced, they can generate reports, they can see the feed-in tariff, how much they are selling the electricity, and all the information will be 100% transparent. And from the other end, from the art of our ecosystem, the token, we have combined it with real-world assets as well. So the backups that we have to our token is the gold, the physical gold, which we will keep in Abu Dhabi and Swiss banks in full transparency, including providing certificates of the quality and the quantity of the gold via our website once every month. So our investors, our community members will have the ability to see how much exactly we have gold and the quality of the gold in 100% transparent manner. And beyond that, we have our cash reserve, which we called it the recovery fund, which means that our recovery fund is built from the margins between the gold market price and our gold price, because one of our investors, one of our early investors, are big players in the gold industry. They own mines and refineries. They produce more than 3 tons per month of gold. So the proof of funds will be from the margins between the gold market price and our gold price. And once every month, we will show the world our proof of reserves by one of the biggest law firms in the UAE. So that's some of the initiatives regarding transparency and trust in our company. Thank you.
I mean, that's a very lengthy response, and I want to say thank you so much for providing that answer to that question. But speaking about transparency, I think there are more to that, and so we just move to the next question that has to do with privacy and data, because this partnership brings in transparency. I think one of the major issues within the Web3 space and and blockchain space is transparency and privacy of data. You mentioned about data, so that drafts up to the next question. This is for you, Andre. How is Open Fabric working to ensure data privacy and security concerns with leveraging AI in financial services, like example, the partnership with Lumishare?
So when it's about to think about financial service, there's a lot of things that, a lot of aspects that have to be handled in order to make sure that these are providing value for all of us. So AI is a quite good tool to enable us to, to do like, fraud detection, risk assessment. Basically, we can even utilize like, chatbots and digital assistants, utilizing AI technology in a way that we can get the best decision when it's about doing any kind of trading or any kind of financial activities. So I guess in the near future we're going to see a lot of new services that will going to utilize AI as a fundamental layer in their building, so that it ensures that people who are operating this kind of financial enterprises are able to get the best decision in certain market conditions. So I guess in the near future the market will be even more volatile and even more harder to predict. So of course, in order to be able to survive in such market, you will going to need like a lot of AI algorithms and AI application that will be able to help you in having a wise decision. So even in this moment, we're exploring some algorithms regarding DPEG, like stable coin DPEG prediction. Also, we're exploring some use case where you can see how we can utilize AI application for doing like automatic trading. So there's a lot of potential, use case and a lot of potential value that AI can bring on the financial service. So uh, AI is not going to be only for generating images and text and music. It's going to be a super tool, very useful, especially in the financial service, in the financial sector, and when it's about being competitive in the market.
I totally agree with your point. I mean, you guys just made a very salient point, especially talking about transparency, about data protection, all of these things. But let's come back to you, Ben. You talked about gold. You talked about your token being backed by gold. Can you please explain in detail about the use of gold cash and technology has three assets to back your Lumin token,
Yes,
and
of
how
course.
exactly do you think they are? Yes, please.
Yes. So the use of the gold, the cash, and the technology as the backup assets, we are going to use, for example, once the price, that Lumi price, will drop down a certain percentage, which will play our algorithms. So we will use the gold as the reserve, meaning that we will sell some percentage of the gold and we will buy Lumi tokens instead. About the cash recovery fund, the same thing. We will buy Lumi tokens and stabilize the price. And we have our technology aspect. It's the algorithm that we developed. We called it the auto burn mechanism. The auto burn mechanism means that because our token is deflationary, meaning that we have limited token supply, like the Bitcoin, for example, that have only 21 million Bitcoins, but unlike the US government, for example, the US economy, that printing trillions of dollars every day. So because our token is deflationary, so once we will use the gold and the cash to stabilize the price, we will burn some percentage of the maximum token supply. And as you know, guys, once you are reducing the supply, the price automatically will be stabilized. And I can tell you more than that, that as per the simulations that we made, it's not going to only stabilize the price, but it's going to raise it up. Very important to mention that we are not a stable coin. Lumi token is not a stable coin, meaning that using the assets and using the algorithm, we set a floor price to our token. The floor price will be always correlated with the all-time high, meaning that on every new all-time high record for Lumi token, we will increase the reserves, we will add more gold, we will add more cash, and by that, the floor price will be increased by. But our upper limit price is unlimited. We don't have any limits of growth to the Lumi token. So that's regarding our backup and how exactly the token infrastructure. Thank you.
Well, that's, I mean, especially talking about your token being backed by Go. I think Go is one of the main concern in the world right now, as you may be aware. So, but then lot of risks that are involved, and Fabric comes in with artificial intelligence and layer one and the solutions. So this question is more just a follow-up question to your response, but it's more for Andre. So Andre, this is for you. He talks about, the token being backed by gold, and I personally believe that there are risk factors that are involved. So how does risk management in this case, especially for the financial sector?
So, when it's about to discuss, about the financial system and, creating, healthy financial system, people, the most fundamental thing, it's about trust. When people are trusting the currency, when people are trusting a system, that system will work. Because when people lose the trust regarding a certain, even it's like financial system or even a technical system, then that system won't be usable and people will stop using it, so it will lose its value. So in a way, I guess one of the backbone, one of the main things regarding any financial system is that people should trust that system. And of course, people, given the, if you look today, like on the global financial system, you see like inflation, a lot of things happening, like all stacks, crashing and things like that. So I guess it's very important that we can leverage the power of artificial intelligence in a new way, so that we ensure people that certain system and on how they will behave in future, and to provide them guarantees about which was going to be stable, which is going to be like a good financial system, and where they should invest on and put their assets and money into it. So artificial intelligence provide a very powerful tool for predicting things, and this is something that we all want to have when it's regarding our money, when it's about what's happening with the future in economy. We want to be able to predict events, and we want to be able to be prepared for them. So I guess the artificial intelligence technology is something extremely powerful when it gets about doing this action. So as I previously mentioned, we start exploring like use cases beyond generative art and generative AI and music and things like that. We start exploring use cases where we can utilize the power of AI to predict certain events in the ecosystem, so that people can utilize this kind of tools in a new way. So you see, I guess as a technology itself, it's very, as Ben mentioned, it's important that people, trust the system they are working with. So artificial intelligence will provide new tools for people to get wiser decision and to be more protected, and to select more wisely the system that they trust.
Yeah, that's very good. I think from my own perspective, I think it's more like collaboration within the Web3, AR, and blockchain space is very pivotal, because there we come in. Open Fabric is now complementing Luminshare by making sure that potential risks are automatically detected, that allows any company to avoid these illnesses, which is very good. And this leads me to my next question. This is for you, Ben. You mentioned about your token. You mentioned about the token being backed by Gore, and I also read on your website that you have an NFT Marketplace. So can you please explain about the fascinating upcoming assets backed by NFT Marketplace?
Yes, of course. So about our asset-backed NFT Marketplace, as I mentioned before, we know and believe that the NFT technology will take a huge part of most of the aspects of our life in the next future. So for the first time in history, we will allow solar farm owners and wind farm owners the ability to tokenize their assets, and by that, to fundraising from retail investors, meaning individual investors, alongside with family offices and hedge funds, institutional investors in general. So I will give you an example about the procedure, how it will work exactly. So
Please go
first we have the verification, meaning that we want to reduce the risk as much as we can for our investors. That's why we made our anti-fraud system. The anti-fraud system means that we will make a due diligence on each of the projects, each of the solar farms and the wind farms before they will have the ability to tokenize their assets. And once they will get verified, they will have the ability to use our interface and to tokenize their own business, the solar farm itself. Meaning that, for example, if we are talking about a solar farm in Miami, okay, in the US, the solar farm costs $10 million. So the same owner of the solar farm have the ability, after he got the verification, to tokenize his assets and to generate an NFT collection, for example, 10,000 pieces, okay? So each of the pieces represents $1,000. So first is giving the opportunity to small investors to invest only $1,000, and from the other end, for big institutional investors to invest even $1 million or tens of millions of dollars. But they will have a full access to risk management module because, as I mentioned before, we are collecting the data online from the solar farms and the wind farms. We can see how much electricity produced. They can generate reports and to see everything 100% transparent, and based on that to take a better decision. But I want to mention and to add that it's not going to end only with the renewable energy. We believe in laser focus approach, and that's why we decided to start only with the renewable energy. But once we will achieve our KPIs, and the KPIs that we set is the volume of transactions that will come in the renewable energy, the number of the solar farms on the wind farms that we already tokenized and they was sold out, meaning that they sold all their NFTs, and another parameters that we defined to follow. But once we will achieve our KPIs, we will go through the agriculture, meaning that we will allow lab growers and farmers to tokenize their farms, their labs. And by that, the same thing to fundraising from retail investors alongside with family offices and hedge funds. And then after we will achieve our KPIs, we will go through the gold and diamonds tokenization and then real estate. So that's our vision in general. But as I mentioned, we are using laser focus approach. So that's about our marketplace. And I can share with you something that was never revealed until now for our community members and for your community members for the first time. We already signed with 3 solar farms even before we launched our platform that will be the first creators. And our Sheikh, one of our main investors is His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Ahmad Al Nahyan, a member of the royal family of Abu Dhabi, which invested in our company $2.2 million, and beyond that, helping us with the regulation. But specifically for this subject, the brother of the Sheikh is the owner of the biggest solar farm in the GCC. So we have them onboarded as well. So just I gave you some bonus information. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that information is very important to both our community. As you just mentioned, I think that's a major progress for you guys from Lumishare. Kudos to you. So to our people in the comment section, please keep your questions coming in. We're seeing them. But the last segment of this AMA session, we will have the question posed to our speakers, able to provide all answers to your questions. That move on to you, Andre. What role does Open Fabric play in enhancing the scalability and performance of Lumishare?
So one of the most powerful things that we bring for every and all the projects that we partner in it is that we provide the possibility for them to utilize AI technology in a simple manner. So you don't have to be like expert in the field to be able to make use of AI application or AI algorithms. Rather, with the help of Open Fabric protocol, everyone will be able to integrate and utilize AI technology as they will currently use any web page, any AI any application. So in a way, if it's about to think about, the things that Ben just mentioned, like tokenization of energy and tokenization of assets and things like that, that can be currently built on top of Illumishare. I guess by providing those people the extra capabilities to interact and integrate AI functionality, they will be able even to create like smart assets. So beyond just being able to tokenize, like say your share part of the electricity which you're providing with some solar panels or like some these power plants, people will be able to create like a sort of smart NFTs, smart tokens. So which are not, of course, they still utilizing the same mechanics, provided by smart contracts. But additionally, people will be able to create new kind of smart contract that also interacts and integrate AI functionality. And this is like a supercharge for any assets that we can deploy and transaction in a blockchain. So one of the biggest advantage in as one of the fruits of this collaboration is that people from Illumishare will be able to integrate and make use of AI technology very easily. And by doing that, they will be able to create new kind of technology, and of course to integrate it and utilize it in their businesses in a new way. So this is something very, very powerful on the long run.
I think, as I mentioned initially, for the or blockchain or AI space, one of the most important thing that any company can do is to have strategic partnership, and this partnership just shows a very clear roadmap in terms of how people can come together to create solutions to some of the present issues. And you guys are doing something unique, but again, you already set up a collaboration that is complementing each other. So that's a big win for both ecosystem. So let's go to you, Ben. Can you touch base upon your project vision? I think this is the part where the community wants to know what is the big vision. We'll come back to Andre. He's going to tell us more about his big vision. So let's tell us more about your project big vision and society via the DOA donation plan and DOA wealth funds.
Thank you. So we believe in giving back to society, meaning that we created two initiatives. The first is the DAO donation plan. The DAO donation plan means that we allocated 5% of the maximum token supply. So we will make some donation initiatives, but not in a regular manner, and I will explain.
Okay.
We believe in the quote, give a man a fish and you feed him once, teach a man how to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. So that's why we chose 7 subjects that are close to our heart, like water in Africa, helping with oxygen in India, and sustainability initiatives like oceans clean, and etc., etc. You can see it in our white paper. So each of the subjects, we will create a spatial token that will act like a crowdfunding in our ecosystem. And by that, we will not only make a one-time donation, but we will create a sustainable economy for each of the subjects. And beyond that, we will allow our community members to vote using the token and to impact on other 8 subjects that we will donate to the same way. About our DAO Wealth Fund, and the DAO Wealth Fund means that we allocated 1% of the maximum token supply. We will hire some blockchain analysts and renewable energy analysts to identify some interesting projects in this area. And we will allow our community members, our holders, to vote and to impact on which project we will invest or in which project we will not invest in 100% transparent manner. So that's regarding our giving back initiatives. Thank you.
Yeah, that sounds very, very, very good. I think we have some comments coming in, and we want to say kudos to you guys for Illumishare. And let's hear from you, Andre. So we're talking about the big vision, but when you're explaining about the big vision of Open Fabric, I want you to go more into details on current and upcoming events of Open Fabric within the ecosystem. So could you share insights on current and upcoming events to increase open fabric ecosystem. And this is for you and the big
Yeah.
vision behind this.
So, I guess one of our top mission in the technology we're building is that we want to make the AI technology accessible to everyone. We want to democratize access to it. So, of course, in the process, we're putting together builders, data infrastructure, all of this working together to create amazing AI application for the user. So, I guess the main beneficiary of our ecosystem are the end user who got the chance to utilize the same technology that make Google and Amazon as great as they are. They can use it to leverage that power and to interact and integrate in their own business. So as you know, we already launched our testnet, like developer preview. We already started to onboard like new developers to build on top and provide them access to our protocols to build their own use case, try it out, see how it's working. So of course, the next step will be to do the final arrangements so we can make our protocol fully publicly accessible to everyone. And of course, the next step will be to launch our economy, because in a way, building such ecosystem require the underlying economics to work so people can, collaborate. So of course, there are just a few, but important milestone that we have in our focus. So we are preparing the public testnet, and of course, we are preparing the launch of our economy. But beyond that, we already started discussing with universities and discussing with research centers, and of course with people who are passionate about building AI technology and willing to experience and to utilize and maybe monetize the already existing solution and provide that to a lot of people, because by utilizing our protocol, we let builder to monetize their work. We let data provider to monetize their data. We let infrastructure provider to monetize their infrastructure. So through use of our protocol, everyone get to benefit, and to provide their value to the ecosystem, of course, benefit and get rewarded for that. So this is something very important, not only for AI technology, but I guess for the Web3 itself, because in a way, the new technology and the protocol we are building is creating like a new paradigm. So it's creating the paradigm of decentralized AI, and of course, people can use AI in a decentralized way. You are not anymore confined by a single vendor. You're not anymore confined by a company. Rather, it's something which is open. There's a lot of participants which, bring their contribution and get rewarded in return. So I guess this is something very important, because we are building something quite unique that doesn't exist today. I mean, this is something that get the muscle of blockchain and the brain of AI and put them together. People normally don't see these two different technology working together, but by doing that, a new and very important synergies can be created, and of course, new innovations. So to wrap it up in so we're preparing some new big events which we think is going to change, not just the AI or the blockchain, but is going to change in a way even the face of the web, because we don't like the term web 2, web 3. We think it's just one web. So the technology we're building, it's pushing the limit of whatever we see in blockchain, in AI, and I guess in the web itself.
I mean, that sounds very, very interesting, especially the fact that the mission at Open Fabric is simple: democratizing artificial intelligence, and as it has always been centralized. And this time around, let's give power to the people. Let people unleash their potential. Let people just do something creative. They shouldn't be having issue of resources, having issue of where they can host the product or where they can host the apps, like infrastructure provider. And you just based on that point, I think you guys are making a very good point. Ben just talked about the DAO project, the DAO World Funds that are doing creating more sticking to the social corporate responsibility and creating more impact across Africa and other part of the world, which is pretty good. And let's leave on to the next question. We'll come back to you, Ben. Um, so, Ben, tell us, are you planning to conduct a launch part after the successful pre-sales? Please elaborate upon the immediate future roadmap and timeline for this project.
Okay, so as you mentioned, we made our pre-sale, which was sold out in less than 24 hours. And yes, we are planning to make a launchpad. We are going to announce it probably during the next few days, or let's say next 7 or 10 days. But beyond that, we are planning to list our token, our Lumi token, on some tier one exchanges on July 27th, meaning that less than a month from now, we're going to list our token and we will publish the exact exchange, the first exact exchange, probably between 2 to 1 week before the listing itself. So stay tuned, guys. We are working very hard behind the scenes. We created some new partnerships, and a new partner, huge partner from Europe is going to join us. So stay tuned. We are going to announce it very soon. And regarding the marketplace itself, we are planning to launch the marketplace, the asset-backed NFT marketplace, probably during September. So we are really close to the launching date of the token and the marketplace, guys. Thank you.
Well, you hear that from Ben. They're very close to the marketplace and the token launch, which is a very good as progress from their end and people within the ecosystem. This is for you. You have the information being clearly stated out by Ben. We'll move to you, Andre. So usually, let me just do a recap of this to let people who are just joining us to understand. So now we are on the company spotlight where these two CEOs are diving more into the big visions and the plans for their company. We know how it takes to be in a seat running a company. There are a lot of background work. There are a lot of sleepless night, and they're just talking about the big visions. They're talking about upcoming launch, product updates, and future. And we will move to the second segment after this next question for you, Andre. This is for you. What should Open Fabric community expect in the coming months? And are there any latest products or future updates from your end, Andrew?
So I guess one of the main things that our community should expect is that we are already started to enable the usage of different AI application from everywhere. We call it AI everywhere. So we just open up the first integration with Discord. We launched like AI art, so people can utilize text to generate art images. Uh, this is something that we want to expand. We want people to be able to use AI technology from other parts, like Telegram or Twitter or Facebook, very easily. And this is just the first use case. Many other will follow. We're going to let people to create music. We're going to let people to create even memes. We're going to let people to create a lot of things by utilizing AI technology. And we want to let our community to experience that first. So if you are part of our community, you will be able to make use of all these AI application for free and very, very easily. So stay tuned because we're going to launch a lot of these AI application and you will be able to play with it. So if you, for instance, go right now in our Discord channel, you will be able to use the AI art application, which essentially lets you to generate your own images. And of course, you can share it with your friends and get their feedback. So we're going, of course, as we did with AI art, we're going to launch more other applications. But more important than that is that we are working on a future that we want to let people to make use of this AI application from everywhere in the, it doesn't matter if it's like Discord or Telegram or our social media channel, as long as they are part of our community. So stay tuned because more things, more features we're going to be released in the next period. We are working very hard and we are very proud of the outcome of our work. So we want to share it with our community and get your feedback. and of course we love people utilizing the things we're building.
Well, just a follow-up question to that. So you mentioned about free. So are you saying that if a person wants to build an AI application, they want to be on top of a protocol, it's absolutely free for them to play around all of the apps within your marketplace?
Yes, so in this testnet environment, everyone will be able to make use of those AI application for free because it's in the testing environment, and of course we utilize the our testing environment also to get feedback and to get more insights from the community, because people utilizing the technology you're building are the best curator, are the best to provide you feedback, to polish even further and to improve it even further. So yeah, basically everyone will be able, and of course which is part of our community, will be able to make use of those AI application just like that.
Good. So now we're going to open the floor for the second segment. So again, the first segment was basically the big vision, tapping into what these CEOs are building, and now let's talk a little bit more about the benefit of this partnership. What does this partnership really entails for both ecosystem, the people from Lumishare, the people from Open Fabric AI? What are they going to benefit? Let's start with the first question with you, Ben. What benefits should both ecosystems expect from this partnership?
So I believe that the transparency is one of the key values here, that we are sharing the same beliefs, and probably about the combination between open fabric AI tools with our marketplace to give a better option to both communities to test, to trade and invest using our platforms, and using some AI tools that will help to make a better risk management for their side. Even if we are talking about small investors of $500 or $1,000, they will have the ability to make their own risk management with the real data. And with the AI tools, probably we can make it even easier and better for them. So that's in general what I think will be the key values of our partnership.
Yeah, I think that's again, you emphasize on transparency. I think that's a major issue within the Web3 space and the blockchain space or even AI space. People want to make sure that there are transparency across every platform, and I think that's a very good benefit from both parties. So Andrew, let's hear from you.
Yeah, so I guess Ben summarized it quite well. So, but what I would add to that is that essentially by this partnership, people from both ecosystem in a way will get the chance to get each the benefit from the other side. So we provide people to make use of AI technology very easily. So people from Lumishare will be able to integrate as Ben mentioned, like doing better risk management or doing better investment, or even like detecting frauds or things like that. The AI technology is very powerful that. So by this partnership, it's creating new synergies, but beyond new synergies, it also creating new opportunities for all the people from our communities, because let's say if you are somebody who's building on top of Illumishare, you can now make use of AI to enhance your depth. And of course, if you're part of Open Fabric, you can interact with Illumishare and get a better insight about investment and tokenization and all these amazing things which are the core functionality of Illumishare. So in a nutshell, it's about creating bridges, basically having some islands and creating bridges. So the more islands we manage to connect, we basically create a country, then a continent. So the more partnership and then the more synergies and integration we create, the more value is there for at the end of the day for our user, for the community and people being involved or utilizing both in both ecosystems.
I think I mean I'm not in your position in you guys' position to be a CEO, but I think that you guys when you guys are making decision on partnership, you take into consideration the community, which is very 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 good, and I must compliment you guys for that openly. Thank you guys. So let's have this next question, then we'll open the stage for a question from the audience. Um, we'll start with you, Andre. In what ways does this partnership enhance customer experiences, and how do you ensure a balance between automations and personalization?
So when it's about automatization and personalization, so basically um, we want to automatize as much as we can, but of course we don't want to lose that human touch. I mean, we still want to be in control. We can automatize things a lot, but still we have to be sure that we're in charge, because I guess this is one of the most most of the people are afraid of losing control when it's about AI, because it's too automatic. It's taking like intelligent decision by itself. So in a way, we still as a human want to be in the feedback loop. So when it's about creating new system, it's very important to be able to keep the human in the loop, to you know the final decision maker to be the human. Of course we want to automatize things which of course doesn't require like or don't have a very very strong impact, but at the same time we want to be when you're trading something or investing in some, even though you have like the best AI to do prediction and calculation for you, at the end of the day you want to be the guy who click the buy or sell button. So in a way, I guess this is how we should see this synergy between making everything automatic and also letting people to be part of it. So it's a balance, but in a way, it's very important that people are kept in the loop, are keeping the control regarding the different system, even if they are very sophisticated with a lot of artificial intelligence or a lot of functionalities. But at the end of the day, people want to be the one who click the button when it's about a big decision. So I think that the future of AI technology is about building these kind of systems where humans are still in the loop. So they are people AI won't steal your job, won't replace human. It will just enhance you. It will just augment your work. So in a way, AI is a very good tool, but it's still a tool. The human is still important, and he's the one who got to be in control of things which are happening.
Well, and you just said AI is here to enhance your work. Let's hear from you, Ben, regarding the question. In what ways does this partnership enhance customer experience, and how do you ensure a balance between automation and personalization?
So as Andre mentioned right now, I think the balance between it is with the user experience on how we are making his life easier, how we are helping him to take better decisions about the data. Because as you know, guys, the AI is built from data, meaning that it's built from machine learning that learn all the data, collect all the data, analyze it, and then can help you to take better decisions on about regarding the data and what exactly you want to take as a decision. So I believe that that is the key of the balance between it. And beyond that, again, I'm going back to the transparency, because once you are giving them all the data in front of their eyes, the real data, the real information, and you are helping to analyze it with the I believe that it's a game changer. And that's
Good.
how I believe that it will act.
I totally agree with you guys, especially you mentioned about just enhancing people's life and making sure that AI is being powered by data and machine learning, as you just mentioned, and people should not be afraid of that. It's here to help our lives and make our lives better. So before we jump into the last segment, which is open the stage for questions from the audience, we have multiple questions in. Approximately maybe around 10 questions. I would like to ask for a consent before moving this forward. We have like 10 questions. We have the minimum, a maximum 10 minutes left on this conversation. I don't want us to jump into the question and then we run out of time. Um, so tell me, how many questions do you guys want us to answer from the audience? We have 10 questions.
Let's try to answer them all.
Okay. Are you guys okay with going additional time?
Yeah.
I can maybe make it 10 minutes more because I have another meeting, so
Okay.
I can
That's a total of 20
take any
minutes.
maximum 10 minutes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 20 minutes window. Let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Let's go with the first question. This one say, when AI will be able to do work based on experience and expectations, not based on prompts. Who wants to go first?
Yeah, I can start with that. So,
Okay.
I guess we see a lot of posts in social media all about ChatGPT and prompts, but in reality, AI is capable to do that from a long time. It's just this kind of AI application, AI algorithms are a bit more technical. They require other types of input, more technical, more revolving the data and data structure than just simple prompts. So AI are already doing that from a long time. Even though they are not like in the, when it's about deep learning and other machine learning, and data scientists, algorithm, all of these are already there. They exist. It's just that people don't know about them. So in a way, we try to bring even though other use cases to people to make use of them, to utilize them. Because it's very important to mention, and this is something that I guess not everyone is fully aware. ChatGPT is just one use case. Large language model is just one AI use case. There are hundreds of them, a lot of them. So if you just go maybe on GitHub and try to search for AI repository, you will find more than 500,000 of them out there. Open source, created by smart people, but they are very hard to use if you're not a technical people. So this is where the most important piece of value of Open Fabric is, because we get this algorithm, we run on top of our protocol, and we present it to the people in a simple to understand way. So to circle back to the question, provided by our community member, AI is already capable of doing that. The main thing is that you don't have yet any example, any platform that let you operate and use this kind of AI. These are the deep AI, which are right now utilized by big companies like Facebook, Amazon, all of that. So they are there, they exist. It's just you don't have yet access to that. But I guess this everything is going to change once we're going to launch our public testnet, and everyone will be able to make use of more than just chat gpt use case, because there's a lot of use cases out there.
Good. Ben, do you want to ask something to this question, or we just ask you precisely the question that has to do with Lumishare?
You can ask me any question that the community, the people asked.
Awesome. Let's do it. So the question is, when AI will be able to do work based on experience and expectations, not based on prompts?
When what? AI?
Will be able to do work based on not based on how do you call it? They say when will AI be able
Can
to
you share
do
with
work?
me the questions, the written, because we have some things in the. It's not audible so much. Can you share with me the questions
Let me
on
put
WhatsApp or something?
yes. So when AI will be able to do work based on experience and expectations, not based on prompts.
Ah, okay. Are you talking about the AI itself? Okay, I got it. So as I mentioned before, it's all about the data.
Mhm.
As much as we will have data, as much as we will have more information about the activity and about the people preferences and everything, so our AI tools will be wiser. They will understand better what exactly the needs and what exactly the people want, because as much as you have data, you can analyze it. The tools can analyze it and to take better decisions and to help the people based on their past interest or past activity. So it's all about the data. As much as we will have activity, it will come sooner.
Well, I couldn't agree with you guys more on that. Let's move to the next question. Can you explain the role of infrastructure providers in the Open Fabric AI platform and how they support the development and deployment of AI algorithms and services? This one is for you, specifically for Andre.
Mhm. So in now, I just to try to explain like a high level. So in our ecosystem, we have four major stakeholders. So you have developers, who are people know how to create the application. We have data provider, who are people or company who possess data and they're willing to monetize that. And the third one is like, of course, the user. And the fourth is the infrastructure provider. So infrastructure provider are people or company that possess computational power and they're willing to rent that to be used to run and train AI application. So in our case, the infrastructure provider are people who are renting their computational power. But of course, this is like happening transparent. So in a way, you just renting your computational power. You don't have to do any special setup. You don't have to do any kind of to prepare anything which is more different. So if you have the infrastructure, you just run Open Fabric node, and you're able to sell that computational power for people to utilize it. So and this, I'm getting back to the user and developer. So user and developer can leverage that extensive computational power of like a network of nodes to use that to run and train AI applications. So in a way, the more infrastructure provider are joining our protocol, the more scalable it gets, the more powerful it gets, and more AI application we can operate in that. So if you're a guy who have computational power, or you are interested in renting your computational power, then please go on our website and try to get on the waiting list, because we're going to start the program to onboard more infrastructure provider. And yeah, it's in our website if you're interested on that.
So I hope Andre provide answers to your question. As you just mentioned at the end, if you still need more clarity, please feel free to visit Open Fabric AI website, and the white paper is there. You can just download and take a time to read through it. But just in case you have a follow-up question, feel free to reach out to us on all social media. This one is for you, Ben, precisely. How does Lumishare Trust Token, Lumin, bring transparency and trust to the crypto markets? There's a follow-up. And what are the three uncorrelated assets that back it? Gold, cash, and technology.
Okay, so as I mentioned before, we have our ecosystem for the token itself. We have the three uncorrelated assets. We have the physical gold, we have the cash, and the technology. All of these assets and algorithm was built for stabilizing the price. We are thinking always about our investors, our end investors. So that's why we define a new category. We called it the trust token. So once our token price will drop down at certain percentage, which we will play our algorithms. So we will sorry. So once the token price will drop down at certain percentage, which we will play our algorithms, we will use the gold. We will sell some percentage of the gold and we will buy tokens. We will use the cash reserve and we will buy tokens. We will use our algorithm. So we will burn some percentage of the token maximum supply and then the price will be stabilized, and as we saw in our simulations, it will rise it up. So we are always thinking about our end investors, and we are giving them the opportunity as well. Why? Because our upper limit price of the Lumi token is unlimited. So they don't have any limits of growth to their investment. But we are keeping and we are saving their money. By that, we put these assets and algorithm. I hope that it's answered the question.
Yeah, I hope you did because to the person who asked the question, Ben just provided a really good response to that, and I hope he answered your question. But just in case you have any follow-up question, feel free to visit LumiShare social handles, and they'll be ready to give you all the full support that you need. Let's
Okay.
move to the next question. I think this one is for you again, Ben. Could you elaborate on the concept of proof of transparencies introduced by LumiShare, including proof of goal and proof of funds? They need more clarity to that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So as I mentioned before a few times, actually, we believe that there is a lack of transparency in the crypto market. And that's why we are going to show the world our reserves. How we are going to do it? By that, we are going to put the gold reserve, the physical gold reserve, in Abu Dhabi and Swiss banks in full transparency, including providing certificates of the quality and the quantity of the gold via our website. So every investor, every person that curious about our reserves can reach our website and to see exactly the certificate of the quality and the quantity. That's regarding the gold. That's the proof of gold. Regarding the proof of funds of our cash reserve, we are going to show the world once every month a letter from a law firm, respectful law firm that will approve that we have this amount of money and it's kept in this account, so everything will be transparent. They can see how much exactly money we have in our cash reserve and how much gold and what is the quality of the gold in our proof of gold. So we want to bring a new transparency standard. We want to bring someone new, and as you mentioned before, and that I really liked it, to give the power to the people. Until now, we are putting our money. Some people have millions of dollars, some people have only thousands of dollars or hundreds. But anyway, we need the approval of the bank or other institutional to approve our transaction. It's our own money. We worked for this money. Most of the people are honest people that working day by day to earn their money, to put a bread on their table. So, and then they need to approve the approval of the bank or other institutions to transfer their money. So we want to bring a new era, a new transparency standard that people will have the full confidence with their money, with the money that they worked for. So that's exactly what we are working, and that's our vision and passion.
That's very fantastic. And to you that asked the question, I hope Ben just provided you a very good response to your questions. If you want to take anything away from that question, his answer, just know that he's focusing more on turning power over to the people. So this one is for you, Andrea. I think this one is coming from Discord. It said, can you tell me more about your brand ambassador program and how can I be a part of this program? This one is for you, Andrea.
So we already got in our website the possibility for people to get in our waiting list. We're going to launch our ambassador program in a few weeks. But of course, if you're interested on that, just go on the website and get to the waiting list. We're going to get back on each one of you who subscribe to the waiting list, and we're going to try to have like a discussion with each individual, and try to understand how and in what capacity you will be able to to represent us and to spread the word about the amazing thing which we are creating in our ecosystem. So if you're interested, please go on our website and subscribe to our waiting list. and we're going to start, reaching out to you because, in a few weeks, we hope to launch our ambassador program. So yeah.
Yeah. So you just heard that from Andre. The ambassador program will be launched in a few weeks, and he's saying to you that you can also go to the website and you can join the wait list. Let's move to the next question. This one is for you, specifically for you, Ben. Can you explain how Loomshare combines human capital, technology, cash, and gold to create a new economics, a meta supported by blockchain innovation?
Yes, of course. So, one second.
Please take your time.
Something happened to the light. Anyway, so regarding the economy, as you mentioned, the traditional economy. So in Lumishare, we combined between the future, which is the blockchain, with the traditional ecosystem, the traditional economy, and specifically the economy of the US until 71, that the dollar was backed up by gold, physical gold, which prevent from the inflation to rise up like those days. And from the other end, we have our asset-backed NFT marketplace. As you know, guys, until now, the NFTs was represents only pictures and monkeys and JPEGs, but it's not the real use case for the NFTs. I'm sure that it will be part of it, but only a minor part in the next future. And that's why we combine it with real world assets. We are starting with the renewable energy, which is a real business that you can measure. But as I mentioned, once we will achieve our KPIs with the renewable energy, we will go through tokenization of agriculture, and then tokenization of gold and diamonds, and then tokenization of real estate. And I'm sure that after we will achieve our KPIs with the real estate, we will go forward to another subjects. But as for now, that's our laser focus, and that's why we combine between the traditional economics and the future economics. Thank you.
Good. So thank you so much, Ben, for providing that. I think there's another question coming in, and this one is for Andre. It's from Discord. This one say, Andre, I really love the work you guys are doing at Open Fabric AI. Could you explain if there are any plans for airdrops and incentive program? Like, do you have any airdrops and incentive program for people who wants to join the community?
Yes, so one of our steps in releasing our economy will involve creating more awareness and involving a lot of people. So of course we're going to have programs, where we're going to have airdrop events and giveaways and a lot of social activities which are involving our community and. But yeah, just stay tuned because we're going to announce some amazing things in the coming weeks. So just follow our social channel and be part of our community because we're going to reward all the people from our community, especially the guys who are already in our community portal and they are doing mission. And of course, right now they get some gems, but all of that will be converted into something, and we're preparing some very very important surprise for you. So please be part of our community, and there's a lot of things to learn and a lot of things to to be part of.
Good. So you just heard that from Andre. We have another question in, but I'm not sure who this question is addressed to, but we just move to the next one. We'll come back to that one. How does Lumishare, this one is for you, Ben. How does Lumishare plan to attract non-crypto and Web2 user to its projects?
Okay, so we have two channels, to bridging the gap, as you just mentioned. So first, we have our ambassadors program. We have right now more than 110 ambassadors from more than 40 countries around the globe that representing us in their country and their language, in their culture, including arranging online and offline events and participating in some of them, and sharing the vision of Lumishare and beyond that, arranging some educational events for free. We already made some educational events in Nigeria, in India, Pakistan, Egypt, Europe, in 2 places, and we are planning to do many more in the next future. So that's the first channel. And by the way, guys, if you are interested to join our ambassadors program, we have our share to earn. We call it the share to earn, meaning that you will share our vision with your community, with other communities around the globe, including events, and we will reward you with Lumi tokens on each of the activities that you will do. So if you want more information, you can reach our website, or you can send us a message on the Telegram group or other groups that we are, or to our email directly. And I promise to you that we will answer ASAP. And the second channel is that we are creating the same platform, as I mentioned before, our platform, the asset-backed NFT Marketplace, with a demo version, which means that with a demo money, meaning that people will have the ability to take a practice, to trade, to check about exactly the activities and how it works, and to get some experience with fake money, a demo money. And then once they have enough experience and they are feeling ready, so they can go to our marketplace, to our asset-backed NFT marketplace, and to trade with real money. So that's the initiatives. Of course, we have many more initiatives because we collaborated with a lot of KOLs, with influencers from more than 18 countries right now. And we are planning more events of the sustainability events, the renewable energy events from one hand, and some blockchain events that we are going to arrange with some other partnerships, and maybe with Open Fabric. We will arrange some event. We will think about it together. So stay tuned, guys. We are cooking a lot of surprises. I'm sure that you will be more than happy to check by yourself and to understand what exactly our plans.
Good. So, guys, we are very sorry that we cannot answer all of the questions. We have already run out of time. But however the case may be, to wrap this up, usually what we do, Ben, we ask our guests and of course our CEO to tell us what is this one thing that you want anyone listening to this session to take away. We'll start with you, Ben.
So I think the most important thing is the power to the people that you mentioned.
Yeah, power to
I
the
think
people.
that will be the game changer. Once people will see that we are keeping our words and putting all the reserves and everything, I'm sure that people will see that this is a better solution, a better alternative to keep their money and to invest. So that's the major thing that, as I see it, of course, it's going to build by transparency. So that's the key value. And of course,
Good.
don't
Let's
follow us on the social media, register on our website, and welcome to the golden era.
hear from you, Andre.
Yeah, so one of the things that people should get after this amazing session is that AI is a super tool, but we still think that humans should be in the loop. So don't be afraid of AI technology. It's a super tool, and if you embrace it, it will be very handy. It doesn't matter if you like it's financing or other sector. So don't be afraid of AI, because AI will still have a human in the loop. The important decision will be still made by humans. So that will be my taking for today's session.
So I personally want to say thank you guys for providing some really for your time. I know your time is very important, and thank you for sticking around. Audience, we want to say thank you for being a part of this session, and thank you for sending in your questions. But if the question have not really answered by our speakers, please feel free to visit their website, and you can forward that question to them. As always, for Open Fabric, we usually drop our survey in the comment section. Please feel free to fill up our surveys, give as possible, because our goal is to build a customer-centric product for you. And feel free to follow our speakers, Ben Sharon and Andrew Tara, on all social media and connect with them. And I want to say thank you again. Do have yourself a pleasant evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
All right, ciao.